Damn, that's how it's gonna be. Just gotta do it all myself.
Hey, what's going on?
Fuck that, I'ma do it my way then.
This is Flip.
Yeah. I told my mom
What's up, man? What's going on? This is Elzhi.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on, brother? Good to talk to you. Good to talk to you.
Good looking, brother. Yeah, my pleasure being back in the city. You know what I'm saying?
So we on the phone with Elzhi, and let's get right to it, man. So I'm hearing all this crazy stuff. My man is going to jail, and he's in trouble. I'm like, what is going on, man? So you come to find out that there was some discrepancy with the album. Can you tell a bit about the delay or hold up with the album, whatever the controversy was about?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really no controversy. The hold up of the album was, I was in the process of making a record, but I was also in the process of like rebuilding myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I went through a few issues. You know what I'm saying, with the music business and certain things. You know, like on a personal level, with like certain friendships and relationships that fell apart. It was pretty much like me working on an album at the same time working with myself. And I did this thing called Kickstarter. It was like a fundraiser.
Right.
And I didn't really update the people like I should have, and that's my apology. And so because I didn't really give updates like that, that's where that kind of came about with people. Well, I won't even say people. It was one person that did like a blog and mentioned something about a scam and all that, you know. And it just kind of blew out of proportion. But you know how it is, entertainers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you might not hear like a lot of entertainers of my caliber get rumors online like that, but entertainers get rumors all the time. So it wasn't really like a controversy, it was just a rumor. Speaking
from a person who really loves hip-hop in general and a really big supporter of what you do, we just wanted to hear the music, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to hear the people the music. Like, and that's another part of the hold up. It was like, I don't want to sell my people short. And I got people around me all the time, you know, like, I'm a perfectionist, you know, I'm a scientist, so I got people like around me all the time, you know, that heard the music that I was making,
right,
and was like, yo, that shit is hot, but if I don't believe it's hot, you know, I'm not gonna put it out there.
Right.
I got too much love for the people that been down since day one, and you know, I feel like, you know, I gotta uphold like my part of the culture, you know, like I came from up under Proof, I came from up under Dilla.
Right.
You know, the whole legacy of what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm connected to my people, you know, Fonte and other MCs, you know, that caliber, and I feel like I got to play my part making this music move forward. So that's what that was.
That's powerful, man. I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I want to go back into your history in a little bit because I haven't seen a lot of your history online. It says that you know, I'm getting information from Wikipedia, and that's just, you know, sometimes that's a little crazy, but coming from the horse's mouth, it says that you started rhyming when you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
Were you writing rhymes? Were they freestyles? What was going on?
So, yo, here's the thing, though. Like, my first rhyme that I ever wrote was in my head. Like, you know, like, so I used to freestyle for, like, my cousins. Like, my cousins or have her friends come over. And then, you know, check me out on the freestyle tip, and I'd be beating on my chest, you know what I'm saying, snapping my fingers and freestyling. But the first rhyme that I ever wrote was in my head. And the only reason why I started writing rhymes was because everybody else was writing. I felt kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But after I got over that phase, I'm like, it feels better just to write off the top of your head. So that's how that went, you know what I'm saying? At eight, I was writing what I saw in the environment. You know, crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up off of like the west side of Detroit,
right?
12th Street, Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So over there, it's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back on what I was writing as a child, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But yeah, first rhyme was written off the top of the head, man. And I've been doing that ever since.
And the first time I heard you was "Come Get It" off of Welcome to Detroit, and I remember being like, who is this cat? That's the first time I heard you on wax. But I do understand that there was a bunch of joints with house shoes that you guys made and didn't put out, or are those things available, those early recordings?
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy, man. Like, I was chopping it with my man Crisis, you know what I'm saying? And you know, shout out to them dudes over there in North Carolina. He was telling me the first time he heard me on Come Get It or whatever. And I never been out the city at that point. So I wasn't even heavy on the internet like that or anything. So, you know, I didn't know people was even reacting to the record like that. But yeah, that was my first appearance on Wax, man. Dilla gave me my shot. First person to ever, like, hit me with a check, you know what I'm saying, to do what I love to do. And me and House Shoes, you know, we had did an EP called Out of Focus. And it was something that we didn't even put out, but it became like this cult classic that people was talking about online. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was just kind of sharing it amongst each other and kind of making up their own titles for the actual EP. I think something about like pineapples, and it was something about like pineapples and peach fruit or peach passion or something. And that wasn't the name of the title at all for the joint that they was describing, but people were just giving it their own titles and everything. It was just something that people was talking about, and we put it out recently. We put it back out recently, like maybe like a couple years ago. It's called Out of Focus.
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, I'm just looking at the timeline, and there's a lot of work. And then, you know, you got, you know, you was, you know, did your thing on that Come Get It, and you had another situation. Now you coming out of that, and, you know, you got the Elmatic, which is, in my opinion, is a masterpiece, you know. And
good luck.
Now let me tell you this, and you know, when I first heard it, I was like, I already rocked out with Elzhi, right? And I'm like, how could you know, the nerve of him trying to do the Illmatic over? Like, come on. And then I heard it, and I was like, yo, fire, amazing.
Good looking. I mean, I can't even take the credit for that. Once again, I was House Shoes. Like, we was on the road overseas, and he just came up with an idea. He was like, man, you know what you should do? You should do Illmatic over, but call it Elmatic, because, you know, people knew that, you know, growing up in the city, people knew that Nas was one of my favorite MCs, such as, you know, the same as like a Cool G Rap or like a, you know, a Slick Rick or like a Jay-Z. So he was just like, man, you should probably do that Elmatic over. Illmatic and call it Elmatic. That'd be hot. And so I was like, okay, cool. But his whole thing was like, we should use like the instrumentals. But I took it a step further and got with Sam from Will Sessions. Yeah. And we went on ahead and like did like a live presentation, like live instrumentation for the joint. And so we collaborated with it, and, you know what I'm saying, we got Stokely on the project, and it was pretty cool, man. Pretty cool experience. Yeah,
and the Will Sessions added that little extra sauce on it, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're talking with Elzhi, representing Detroit here on the Beat. We actually did an interview with House Shoes a few years ago, and he talked very highly of you, brother. So it was good sitting down talking to House Shoes. You know, you going from, you know, being a young cat, you know, going through your, you know, trials and tribulations in the label situation, coming out doing Elmatic, and then we don't hear from you. First, I heard the new single, Cosign, which is really crazy. And
good luck.
But you said you didn't do this without a cosign.
Yeah.
Would you consider what Dilla did for you a cosign by putting you on?
No doubt, but I'm talking about like the rebirth of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like coming out of like Elmatic, and not even really like appreciating everything that came my way at the time, because deception was my perception. You know, so I was looking at everything on the surface, and, you know, when you look at things on the surface, sometimes you might get a little stressed out or depressed because things ain't moving your way. But you got to understand that, you know, you got to scratch below the surface to get to the root of it. And the root of it 9 times out of 10 is a positive outcome. So, and what I'm trying to say with that, like when I was doing the Elmatic and I was on tour, and I appreciate everything, don't get me wrong, but it was just, I was going through some things, and I was fronting like everything was okay when it wasn't. So I'm saying, like, to get back to, like, you know, where I was, not even getting back to, like, to become better than what I was, I did it without a cosign. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it with me and my team, God in my corner, and, you know, we built up a label, Glow 365, and we moving like that. with no cosign.
Yeah, and it's an amazing track. And the first track opens up and it says, "I told my moms one day that I'll become known over any track."
One day that I'll become known over any track I get dumb on, even if it's a drum and a trombone. How could I've lost it when I'm inspired to keep excuses sounding tired and possibilities?
You know, so I'm sorry to hear about your mom's passing, but would you think that, you know, could you talk a little bit about how, you know, your mom's passing was a motivation for you?
Yeah. You know, actually, my mom passed, you know, back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that, you know, if anybody done lost a loved one before, especially like mom, you know they never go away. And there was so much stuff that I was going through that I never really sat down and actually dealt with the whole past and everything. And because it was always like, man, what would it be like if she was still in my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, would I still make the same errors that I've made? Or, you know, would she have hit me to the game and I'd have been a little bit more wiser? So, but no, how I cope with that was once again back in, you know, when I did the Out of Focus EP with House. Like, that was the first time I realized that getting stuff out is kind of like medicine. You know what I'm saying? And which hence the name of the record, Lead Poison.
Right.
Because lead poison is my way, you know, it's my outlet. You know what I'm saying? Getting the poison out of me through writing. And once you get it out, it's like medicine. So that was the first time I ever experienced that, because, you know, before that, I was just in the open mic scene. I was just trying to rip somebody's head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to crown. And then I realized, you know, when you get older, like, you know, the crown is cool, but it's better when you got the people. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah. It's just, you know, like I realized at that time, I realized how therapeutic music can be and how much of an outlet it can be when she passed like that. And then I carried that through my whole career thus far.
You know, it's interesting that you reflect and touch on a little bit of mental illness, and you talk about in a lot of your interviews about how it's important to talk about it. And my brother, I lost my brother he took his own life, and it was like, you know, something in the black community you don't really talk about, you know, and I'm glad that you're bringing it to the forefront. Is there anything that you could, you know, express, or anything that you could do and say to people about there who are looking for help and find a way that they can get it? You know what I mean?
I mean, all I can say is, and like, once again, my condolences to you, man. Like, I you know, I'm sorry to hear that about your brother.
Thank you.
I just feel like, you know, in the black community, man, especially coming up, you know, like where I came up, I can't say it's the same for anybody else on the other side of the planet or whatever, but I know in my community and where I came up, you know, people didn't want to speak to counselors or talk to therapists about their situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people be diagnosed with like different illnesses and they go unnoticed because they don't get checked out. Where I come from, and yeah, I don't want people to ever be ashamed. You know, if things is on their brain, you know what I'm saying, and it's staying in their brain in a negative way, I think they need to have an outlet. You know, that's why I did Lead Poison. You know what I'm saying? Not just only for me, myself, to you know, get what I needed to get out, like that pain, but encourage everybody else to do the same. And then at the same time, you know, just through me, let me be that example. You know what I'm saying? From whatever, you know, if somebody feel like they at the bottom and I'm giving you my story, you've seen that I'm at the bottom and I rise to the top, let me be that example. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wrote it for everybody to, you know, maybe even relate to what I went through and maybe overcome the things that they going through.
Yeah, it's really powerful, man, and I want to appreciate you. We're looking forward to you to come out to Philly March 18th. 2016 at Hip Hop Lives. Yeah,
no doubt. Shout out to the whole Philly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out there, man. Thanks for having me. And you know, just shout out to, you know, everybody who love real hip hop music. And I hope to see y'all out there, man, and rock with. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I got y'all. Yo, this your boy Elzhi. Remember, always stay true, always stay tuned, and always stay on the beat. One love.